Hey Rad Readers, Miss Weber here to talk to you about 3 YA titles that you can find digitally in our library. So let's go ahead and begin. The first book I'm going to talk to you about today is by Alicia Williams. It's called Genesis Begins Again. And in our book, 13-year-old Genesis has 96 things that she hates about herself. How do we know that there's 96? Genesis keeps a running tab. One of the things that Genesis hates is that she and her family are constantly being evicted from their housing. Another thing that she hates about herself is that she's pretty sure she's the cause of her father's gambling and alcoholism. And the last thing that Genesis hates is her dark ebony skin. We begin our book with Genesis trying to make friends at the school where she is with the other girls, and she's invited them back to her house. Finally, they've said yes, and she thinks it's going to be a breakthrough for her. The only problem is that when Genesis gets home, everything that they own is on the front yard because yet again, her family has been evicted. Genesis thinks things are hopeless, but her dad finds them a house in a really nice neighborhood, and Genesis is able to start another school. She thinks that this is a sign that the family is going to be in a good situation, and she knows that she can help out by trying to fix everything in her family. Genesis thinks that if she can turn her ebony skin color to one that's more caramel like her mother's, that it'll help her not only fit in, but also be accepted by her father. She works to try to find confidence in herself and also try to be accepted, not just for who she thinks people want her to be like, but for who she is really. It's a really wonderful read. Genesis Begins Again by Alicia Williams. The next title I'm going to tell you about is a graphic novel memoir written by Cynthia Copeland called Cub. And our book Cub starts off with our main character Cindy starting 7th grade. And Cindy looks at 7th grade a little bit like the animal kingdom. There are predators like the mean girl group, and there are prey, students like Cindy, who get picked on. Cindy thinks that 7th grade will still be okay though, because she has her best friend Katie, and her English teacher has just recommended her to be a Cub reporter for the local newspaper. Cindy's really excited about the Cub position, and she wants to go and tell her friend Katie, except Katie is not going to sit with her at lunch because she's been invited to sit with the Mean Girl group instead. This really throws Cindy for a loop because she realizes she doesn't have a friends group besides her best friend Katie, and now she's kind of stranded at school. Despite this, she starts her Cub internship, and as she learns from Leslie about what it means to be a writer and how to talk to people and interview people as a reporter, she starts to gain enough confidence that she's able to reach out and find a new set of friends. We see throughout the book Cindy trying to navigate 7th grade and her new job, gaining confidence. Cub by Cynthia Copeland is a really awesome book. One of my favorite parts of it is that it has some really amazing art inside of it, lots of humor, and it really speaks to what it means to be a 7th grader. The last title I'm going to tell you about today is called In the Footsteps of Crazy Horse by Joseph Marshall. And In the Footsteps of Crazy Horse follows a young man named Jimmy McLean, who is part of the Rosebud Indian Reservation where the Lakota live. But Jimmy doesn't really feel like he fits in, and he's teased at school because he has blonde hair and blue eyes and doesn't look like a traditional Lakota. When Jimmy's grandfather finds out that he's suffering from teasing at school, he makes a decision to take him on a road trip to retrace the steps of one of the most famous Lakota warriors ever, Crazy Horse. As Jimmy learns about the things that Crazy Horse has done and why he is such a famed Lakota warrior, Jimmy starts to realize what it really means to be Lakota might not have anything to do with how you look on the outside. Thanks so much, guys, for watching my book talk, and I hope that you pick up one of our titles. Genesis Begins Again by Alicia Williams, In the Footsteps of Crazy Horse by Joseph Marshall, or Cub by Cynthia Copeland. Have a good day.